Do. So, hey, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Victor Yao.
And what's your breakdance alias?
I do not have an alias, I just go by Victor.
Okay, so which crews do you represent?
I represent Sick Nature Crew out of Dallas, Texas.
Okay, why do you breakdance?
I break because it's a way for me to express myself and to use my time to do something really productive and just overall beneficial for my physical health, my mental health, and my spiritual health.
Word. So, which city are you from?
Well, that's a hard question. I was born in Ottawa, Canada, raised in Dallas, Texas, but now I go to school in Houston, Texas. So I would say, because we are in Seoul, South Korea, I would say I'm from Houston, Texas, but keep the other two in mind.
Okay, so in which city did you start breaking?
I started breaking in Dallas, Texas, in a little city called Denton, Texas.
Denton.
Yes.
How old were you?
I was 16 years old.
Wow. And did you find it through school, through a club, on your own?
I found it through a club. Yes, through a club at my high school. And it was at the beginning of the semester of my junior year of high school. I wanted to try out something new, so I went to the breaking club called Dancing for a Cause, tried it out for the first time, and immediately fell in love with it.
Wow. So, nowadays, where do you primarily break?
Nowadays, I primarily break at my school at Sogang University because nowadays I'm in Seoul, South Korea, and that's the only practice spot that I've really tried out so far. But in Houston, Texas, I primarily practice at the gym at my school, at a little multi-purpose room. Yeah.
And do you have other people who you practice with inside the multi-purpose room?
Usually, no. Usually, I stick to practicing by myself.
Word. And is it free? Is it free for students?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, have you ever traveled to other cities, like specifically to break? Like an out-of-state jam or practice?
Yes, I have done that.
So what's an example? Like how far have you gone? What's like the furthest distance that you've traveled?
Specifically for gym and nothing else. The furthest I've gone is from Houston, Texas to Chicago, Illinois. I went there for a gym called Be Funky Fresh, and yeah, I went there and I didn't enter the gym. I actually just ended up ciphering there, but it was a really, really fun experience because it was my first time in Chicago. Got to experience the city and the food a little bit before that, and yeah, I went to the jam, ciphered, and was really feeling the ciphers at that time. And then the day after, I went to a B-Boy Casper workshop. And after that, I started a cipher there for my studio over in Houston, Texas, Breakthrough Community Center. And, set a video back to them. And yeah, it was just really fun getting to meet B-Boys and be able to tell them that, hey, I'm from Houston, Texas. I came to your city for this jam, and I represent a studio group that is trying to help the youth. And it was really fun being able to present myself as, I guess, someone from out of town and have them all respond to me in a really friendly and positive way.
Right. Can you tell me a little bit more about Break Free? So what is Break Free?
Sure. Break Free Community Center is a youth center in Houston, Texas. It was started by B-Boy Moy from Kagakoro Crew about 5 years ago. And right now the other primary members working there are B-Boy Jeremy Kagakoro, B-Boy Jesse Germ, MZK, Joey Flacco, Abacora, and Enrique from 3D B-Boys. So it's a community center that's targeted at risk youth, and we want to be able to help youth from, I guess, lower income areas be able to express themselves freely and provide them with a space where they can express themselves freely and feel safe and not have to worry about people yelling at them or people telling them to get out of this place. It's just really all about the youth and the kids and giving them a positive outlets to express themselves and use hip-hop as an educational instrument.
So how do you go about creating a safe space inside of a city or just inside of like a neighborhood or community?
How do you go about doing that? I guess you have to designate an area and make sure that that area is always available, and make sure that there are positive leaders in that area and staying in that area that people can come to and trust and rely on them to be there. With breaking, when you're trying to create an area like that, it's hard because a lot of breakers aren't willing to, I guess, put in money for that. But once you actually do put in money, like Break Free did, and start providing this area to kids for free, then that becomes a really positive area. And sustaining it, that's a completely different story. But I guess, designating an area and making sure you have good leaders running that area, that's how you create a positive area.
So with this study, we try to focus on public policy. And so I guess like a local official, local government affiliated official would kind of be one of those leaders to help, I guess, maintain a safe space. So the space that we're looking for, with this study, it's pertaining to public spaces, so like parks, community centers that are government funded.
Right.
So let's see, does Break Free have government funding, or do you know of any community centers that have like a safe space, like a designated time for breaking?
The first question, whether Break Free has community government funding, no. As of right now, it doesn't. Right now, a lot of the people like Moy are using their own funds to pay for the studio and keep it running. And from what I've heard, Break Free has actually been operating at a bit of a loss recently, but we've been trying to do fundraising to keep providing this space for free and allowing kids to take class for free. As for other areas that have times specifically designated for breaking, I know there's another church in Houston that has Thursday nights called Youth Advocates, and that's like a free jam every single week.
Every week?
Yeah, free all-style jam like every Thursday night. And they give you food there too.
Yeah,
it's a church, and they deliver a couple of messages throughout the night from the pastors. And that's another one in Houston, Texas. I'm not sure if it has government funding since it's a church. There's certain areas that B-Boys have designated and just use and may or may not get kicked out of at any time. But I do not know about anything that's specifically government funded.
Okay. Do you think like having a stable sense of place, like a stable place
Yeah.
that people can rely on,
Yeah.
do you think that that helps like the entire scene? Like, you think it keeps like the scene to be stable? Like keep older heads in and provide a place for newer heads to grow. Like having a safe, reliable space that's like free. Do you think does it take more than a place? Like,
Could you ask the question again, please?
so beyond just having a space,
Yeah.
what other ingredients are there to making a breakdance scene a healthy breakdance scene? In your opinion?
Other than just having a space, you need leaders in the scenes who are willing to pass down their knowledge and be open-minded about it. You need leaders that are able to recognize that this culture, even though it started with them, and even though they are crucial to maintaining and passing down that culture, that this is also a very rapidly developing culture that the younger generation are also going to need to develop on their own and need to have their own freedom for it. So yeah, you definitely need leaders who are going to pass down the knowledge, but also give the new generation the freedom to create with that knowledge and go their own direction with that knowledge. Because a problem that I see with a lot of b-boys as they get older